Welcome everyone. So today's Dharma topic is about the mindfulness or awareness and its benefit daily life. Maxim in Buddhist teaching, what Buddha taught us. To know ourselves through meditation, where we can grow our spiritual growth and understand the concepts of nature. So how can we understand the concept of nature? There are many different meditation techniques to understand this concept of nature. But what Buddha taught us that behind understanding the concept of nature, we need to look at its nature as it is. So it's not about only the outside concept of nature, it's about also the concept of nature of mind and body, nature of our mind and body. Usually, we always being programmed since childhood that it's our body, it's our mind, that is my family, this is my family members, this is my teacher, friends, society. But what happens that these are all perceptions which were taught by our environment, our family, our teachers. These are all the perceptions which we need to understand as it is. Our mind is like a computer, or we can put an example of an Android phone. Before we buy the phone, a new phone, we always check ourselves that it is okay or not. And beside that, we download different kinds of necessary applications. With that, we use that phone in our daily life. Similarly, since we are born in our mind, different kinds of perceptions are being downloaded by our environment, friends, family, schools, college, universities, teachers, and others, by indicating with names and different emotions. But before being downloaded with the perceptions, we don't know anything. We don't know anything about who they are, what are they, what are these. So the perceptions are needed actually in the conditional view. That's why Buddha instructed it as conditional truth, the truth which is created by human. So with this conditional truth, we indicate different persons, their colors, their good and bad behaviors, their race, their countries, and behind that, we began to have different emotional attachments with them. So as far as the attachments, formed, we get as far as the emotions are created inside us and being formed strongly, we begin to crave for that things or person. It all happens not because of living with them, it happens inside our mind actually. So that's why, according to the Buddha's teaching, we practice to detach things and people from our mind. So to detach these things from our mind, we need to understand perceptions. Perceptions are nothing but a kind of illusions in reality, according to the unconditional truth, where there is no attachments, no greed, hatred, or anger, no cravings, which is unformed, where there is no formations. Through attachments, we begin to suffer. That's why Buddha says that the root of suffering is attachments. That doesn't mean that we should actually abandon the things or person. Rather, which means that to detach the things or person from the mind actually. From the mind, we need to detach. So, through these perceptions, we began to assume the illusion as reality with our ignorance. With the ignorance, we began to crave and attach the illusion, the impermanent things or person as reality and take it for granted, where we began to suffer mentally because no person or things are permanent. We need to understand it very deeply and observe it one by one by taking time. So, when we do not agree with it, we ultimately began to enjoy the suffering. Enjoying the suffering means we enjoy with our sixth sense. We enjoy the sensual desires through our sixth sense. And the sixth sense are the eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and body. So, with that, we began to enjoy the suffering, and through that, we began to increase our defilements. Okay, we began to increase our defilements day to day by day. We began to increase our defilements, where we enjoy suffering with our ignorance. So, according to the Buddha's practice, Buddha's teaching, we need to reduce the suffering if we want inner peace. Now, maximum people assume that peace, okay, is taking a vacation from the work, a vacation from something which is very pressurable. So they began to change the environment from one place to another. Like said, by taking a vacation, we go to holidays or some beach. We went to beach, we go to different places, and or we go to clubs, parties, and other things. We began to enjoy it. But to be honest, they can't find peace. Peace and happiness is not the same thing. Happiness we receive from the external object, as like going to pubs, clubs, casinos, or enjoying parties. But the peace comes from inside, within us. So, how to be in peace, be in really inner peace? Okay. Before that, let me tell you what happens when people make this kind of vacations and find happiness from external object. They that happiness actually are not permanent. We always again change, go back to our own respective jobs, and again from there we change to these places where we enjoy or where we get happiness. We enjoy with our girlfriends, we enjoy with our friends, or we enjoy somewhere places, new places. So these are all external happiness, which are impermanent, because this is for some time what we do. But internal peace is permanent, because you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to pick up a specific time. You don't need to go to any places or meet somebody. This peace, this inner peace remains within us. So that's why, according to the Buddha's teaching, we meditate for inner peace. So how do we can get inner peace? How do we be in peace? That's the very interesting question which can arise in your mind right now. So back to perceptions, and perceptions create thoughts. So due to perceptions, old pattern of perceptions, we began to dwell in the past and future thoughts. So when we began to dwell in past, we began to feel depressed, frustrated, regret, guilt, and etc. by experiencing the past thoughts in the present moment and feel it through ignorance. When we dwell with future thoughts, we begin to imagine it, expect from that, and create a hope or wish to happen it in the present moment. When we dwell in this past and future thoughts and imaginations, not in the present moment actually. So present moment is not again to create something. There is no need to create present moment. There is only you can be in present moment. Is a peace. Present moment have the inner. So these thoughts appears when you meditate, but in your daily life, within your daily activities, these thoughts being dwelt, okay, we began to dwell in these thoughts. Suppose this is a rainy month, rainy season. So when we see the rain, we begin to have or create or grasp the thoughts, such as what we did with our mother or with our father, with our closest person in these days. We began to think it and began to feel it. And that's how these songs, poems, any entertainment stuffs, who create it, that's how they think. They begin to imagine it. They begin to experience it. Okay. So that happens when we are unaware of our own mind. If we also began to think about future and imagine it, okay, then also we began to feel it through our ignorance. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that you should not plan for future or anything else, but the attachment towards it actually creates suffering. The attachment towards the future thoughts, the attachment towards these two state of thoughts creates suffering in the present moment. How to be, okay, the question arises, how to be present, how to be in a present moment. This one, we need to understand that meditation is not, doesn't have any specific form, that you need to sit only, stand only, lay only, okay, eat only, okay. There is no specific form. Just like daily activities, okay, if you are aware, then you are in meditation. You are in office, you are in college, you are in university, you are in market, you are in your respective places. If you are aware, then you are in meditation. You are meditating. Practicing this, it will be hard at first, but hard doesn't mean that it is impossible to be in present by performing daily activities. So what we need to do, that we need to understand our mind, our own mind. Okay. So there is conscious mind and subconscious mind. With conscious mind, we began to perform any activity, and that performance or that experiences is received by the subconscious mind, recorded by the subconscious mind. And through that, different kinds of memories began to load it in our mind spontaneously, without knowing it. So that's why when we go some places or smell something or feel something, then we remember our persons with whom we experienced those moments. So that's how also dream comes when we sleep. Because when we sleep, our conscious mind began to deactivate it, and the subconscious mind began to activate at that moment. And all the thoughts and memories are being mixed with each other and project to us, okay, show us as a dream, what we call dream. Not all the dreams, some dreams are like symbols or signs, but maximum of the dream comes from subconscious mind. So we need to, that's why we need to take care of our mental health in our daily activities, in our daily life. With whom we talk, with whom we mix, with whom we, with what we read. We need to be very careful because it records in our subconscious mind ultimately. Because the function of subconscious mind is to record every details of whatever activity is doing through by conscious mind. So it's like a memory store. So not only when we sit for meditation, even though when we sleep, when we eat, when we talk with each other, where we go, it always, okay, when the conscious mind begins to deactivate, the subconscious mind gets activated and began to show the memories which we downloaded. And that's how we remember those persons, those things. Okay, when we see something, smell something, listen to something, feel something. So if we are aware of our mind, then, okay, and through the practice of awareness or mindfulness, we can note everything and wisely we can take decisions of our own life. So that's why practice of mindfulness is very important in our daily life. As like we are aware of the violence of the world, we need to be aware not to create violations in our own mind too. Because if we don't know ourselves, we will not know others. And slowly the humanity will be vanished from the world very soon. That's why the practice of awareness is very important in our life. No matter you are Christian, you are Muslim, you are Hindu, you are Buddhist. Okay. No matter what religion you belongs to, no matter what nationality you belongs to, no matter what your country you come from, but your mind suffers. Your mind suffers. Every day, every second, your mind is getting tired by paying attention to the external world and enjoying the sensual desires with ignorance. So that's why to wake yourself up and to know yourself, I am helping you to know yourself by giving you the practice of mindfulness or awareness so that you can be in peace and be in the present moment. So for now, in the conclusion, I would like to say that As like we are all being aware of surroundings, similarly, we need to aware of our own mind, what is happening inside, and people and self, to have a harmony and equanimous life until death. So here I conclude my Dharma discourse for today. Thank you very much. Stay aware, stay happy. May you have your surroundings.